Humanoid robots are crossing a threshold in 2025, and the updates we're seeing right now are proof. Figure just revealed a walking demo that looks like a scene ripped from the future. Their Figure 02 humanoid robot walked blindfolded over obstacles without falling. Unitree is teasing a taller, full-size humanoid. And Agibot? They're launching dexterous robot hands at prices nobody thought possible, and even opening up retail sales. So welcome back, guys. Alfie here. Today, we're breaking down these 3 major moves step by step, all hitting at once, and here's where it gets interesting. Each of these companies is pushing humanoids into territory that looks less like research and more like mainstream rollout. You're watching the AI Nexus, and as always, we're here to bring you every step of the future. Let's go. Figure has been a name to watch from the beginning. Ever since Brett Adcock and his team stepped into the humanoid race, they've made it clear they want to be right up there with Tesla and Boston Dynamics as one of the few companies capable of delivering a true general-purpose humanoid robot. But this new walking demo marks a serious leap forward. The clip shows Figure 2 navigating terrain without relying on any cameras. That means no visual input guiding its steps. Instead, the robot is operating entirely based on proprioception, its sense of its own body position and movement. To train this, the team used reinforcement learning and simulation, building policies that let the robot adapt to obstacles and changes in its environment without relying on sight. It's the robotic equivalent of a human walking through a pitch-black room. When you can't see, you rely on balance, muscle memory, and reflexes. Figure is teaching its robot to do the same thing, except with reactions that can outpace us. And here's why it matters. Vision systems, no matter how advanced, are vulnerable. Lighting changes, objects shift, shadows confuse sensors, environments are unpredictable by nature. If a robot depends too heavily on what it sees, it can be fragile. But a robot trained to keep walking blind? That's robustness. Adcock says some of the performance metrics are edging into superhuman territory. Think about what that means. A humanoid robot that not only matches human adaptability, but actually surpasses it in stability and response when faced with chaotic, unseen obstacles. That's a direct answer to one of the biggest concerns about humanoids. We've all wondered whether they'd trip and fall at the first unexpected obstacle. Picture a warehouse aisle where a box tumbles down, a hospital hallway where a patient suddenly crosses, or a sidewalk where the ground is uneven and slick. Humans adjust instinctively, but historically robots have struggled. If Figure 2 can remain balanced in all of those cases, it becomes a robot that can truly work in the unpredictable real world. And the implications go beyond walking. Reinforcement learning of this kind isn't limited to locomotion. The same techniques can be applied to hand use, manipulation of objects, and even multi-step tasks in environments that don't play nice. If Figure can extend blind robustness into manipulation, we aren't just looking at robots that can walk, we're looking at robots that can survive and function in chaos. That is the foundation of humanoids that can actually work alongside us. Now let's turn to Unitree. Unitree has been one of the fastest-moving and most aggressive companies in robotics. They started with quadrupeds, shook up the field, and then jumped headfirst into humanoids. The Unitree G1 humanoid stunned the industry in 2024 with a price tag of just under 100,000 yuan, or around $13,500. That single move forced everyone else to rethink how affordable humanoids could be. But now Unitree is teasing something much bigger. Literally bigger. The new silhouette they've shown hints at a full-size humanoid. We're talking about a machine standing roughly 5'10" with 31 degrees of freedom. That puts it right into human territory in both scale and dexterity. For comparison, the G1 was already impressive, but its smaller size limited how easily it could interact with spaces designed for us. A taller humanoid changes the equation. And the design is telling. The outline looks similar to their R1 style, a geometry that balances agility with function. Scaling that form up makes sense. It keeps the movements recognizable and practical, while giving the machine proportions that allow it to operate more naturally in human-built environments. The importance of full size can't be overstated. Most of the world is designed for people around human height. Door handles, shelves, machinery, tools, and workspaces are all set up for our proportions. A humanoid that matches that scale has a huge advantage, because it doesn't require major redesigns of environments to be useful. Then there's the 31 degrees of freedom. The higher the number, the more natural and nuanced the robot's motion becomes. That makes balance smoother, manipulation more flexible, and overall movement closer to the way we operate. It's not just about being tall, it's about being capable in ways that smaller or simpler robots can't achieve. The big question is pricing. Unitree shocked everyone with the G1's affordability. If they can bring that same pricing philosophy to a full-size humanoid, the industry will feel the shockwaves. Imagine a workplace-ready humanoid priced aggressively enough that small companies, not just tech giants, could deploy them. Unitree's strategy has always been about speed, affordability, and functional design. If this full-size tease becomes reality, it may become the first humanoid designed to scale across industries in a way that feels practical and realistic, not experimental. And then there's Agibot, taking a completely different approach, but one that might be the boldest of them all. Instead of focusing purely on entire humanoid robots, Agibot is attacking one of the toughest problems in robotics: dexterous hands. For decades, robotic hands with real dexterity have been rare and incredibly expensive. It's been normal to see price tags in the tens of thousands of dollars for a single hand. That has kept advanced manipulation out of reach for many labs, small companies, and independent developers. But Agibot just changed the game. Their new OmniHand 2025 line smashes the price barrier. The Agile model delivers 16 degrees of freedom, designed for interactive service roles, at under 10,000 yuan. That's about $1,300. The Pro model raises the bar further with 19 degrees of freedom and fine-grained sensing down to 1/10 of a newton. That makes it capable of precision manipulation that was previously limited to hands costing 10 or 20 times more. For the robotics community, that's a revolution. Suddenly, researchers and startups who couldn't justify paying $40,000 for a pair of robotic hands can experiment with dexterity for a fraction of the price. That means more innovation, faster prototyping, and more breakthroughs bubbling up from unexpected places. But Agibot didn't stop there. They're taking their robots directly to the consumer market. You can now find their humanoids listed for sale on JD.com and on their own retail site. That means they aren't just talking about commercialization, they're doing it. The entry point is the Lingxi X2 Youth Edition, priced at 98,000 yuan. Then there's the Expedition A2 Youth Edition at 168,000 yuan. If those numbers sound familiar, it's because they sit right alongside Unitree's pricing for the G1 and the G1 EDU. Agibot is positioning itself as a direct competitor, price for price, product for product. This move is bold because it bypasses the traditional path of robotics companies selling only to enterprises, research institutions, or through tightly controlled channels. Agibot is saying, here's a robot, here's the price, click to order. That is the kind of step that turns humanoids from specialized research tools into products that anyone, from small businesses to schools to private enthusiasts, can consider owning. It isn't just commercialization, it's democratization. And it sets the stage for a future where humanoids are bought the same way we buy consumer electronics. Looking ahead, each of these companies faces a clear next step. For Figure, the challenge is expanding blind robustness into full multimodal adaptability. Walking without vision is impressive, but combining that with camera-based planning and manipulation would create robots that can both handle chaos and complete long, complex tasks. That's the path from walking to working. For Unitree, everything hinges on pricing and deployment. If they can bring their full-size humanoid to market with the same affordability they've shown before, they'll establish themselves as a leader in practical humanoids. A 5'10" humanoid with 31 degrees of freedom at an accessible price could easily become the most attractive workplace-ready platform in the world. For Agibot, adoption is the big test. Listing robots on JD.com is bold, but will buyers step up? If they do, we could see humanoids spreading into small businesses, schools, and even private homes. That would create a feedback loop where real-world use drives rapid iteration, making the robots even better in short order. Humanoid robots in 2025 are no longer just science fiction. They're becoming part of the real economy. A robot that can walk blind without falling isn't fragile. A humanoid that stands at human height with natural dexterity isn't a toy. A robotic hand priced at a little over $1,000 isn't exclusive anymore. And a humanoid listed on a retail site isn't a prototype for labs. It's a product. Together, these updates show us how quickly humanoids are moving from dream to reality. They're starting to look, move, and integrate like us. And for the first time, they're being offered at prices and through channels that make them accessible. But walking blindfolded, scaling up to human size, and even selling robots online is only half the story. Because 2025 isn't just about what humanoids can do. It's about how real they're starting to feel. Some of today's robots look and act so human-like that people are doing double takes. Their facial expressions, their body language, even the way they hold eye contact, it all feels shockingly natural. And that's what we're diving into today. The most human-looking humanoid robots in the world right now. These aren't prototypes hidden in labs. These are robots making waves in industries, on global stages, and even inside people's homes. And as we move through this list, you'll see how each one gets closer and closer to blurring the line between machine and person. Let's jump right into it. One of the clearest examples of lifelike design today comes from Engineered Arts in the UK. You probably know their star robot, a mecha. Since its debut, a mecha has gone viral countless times, thanks to its eerily realistic facial expressions. In 2025, a mecha has evolved into a full-body humanoid capable of smooth conversations, fluid gestures, and uncanny emotional responses. The latest version can pick up subtle cues in your voice and adjust its own tone accordingly. So if you sound upset, a mecha reacts with concern. It's not just the look, it's the presence. People meeting a mecha for the first time describe it as like talking to a real person who just happens to have a metallic skeleton. A mecha represents the fusion of robotics and expressive AI. You're not just looking at a machine, you're interacting with a personality. That's why it's become one of the most famous robots on Earth. Now let's head to Japan, where Hanson Robotics has continued refining Sophia. Remember, Sophia was one of the first humanoids to gain worldwide recognition. In 2025, Sophia has gone through multiple generations, and the newest models feature more skin-like material, improved eye tracking, and micro-motorized facial muscles that can perform even more nuanced expressions. What makes Sophia so human-like isn't just how she looks, but how she converses. With improved AI backends, Sophia can now hold long, natural conversations without looping back to repetitive answers. She's been used in interviews, talk shows, and even co-hosted events. That level of adaptability makes Sophia feel far more alive than ever before. The uncanny valley, the discomfort we feel when something looks almost human, is shrinking quickly with robots like Sophia. The world's most beautiful humanoid robot with artificial intelligence, created by the Russian company Promobot named Dunyasha, treated all exhibition visitors to delicious ice cream. Dunyasha is a cashier robot with a human appearance. What makes this robot unique is its ability to get acquainted with people, recognize them on return visits, and engage in conversations on both spontaneous and pre-programmed topics. Additionally, thanks to artificial intelligence, Dunyasha has her own personality. A particular point of pride for the specialists is the skin-like covering that makes Dunyasha look less like a plastic doll. It has high elasticity and closely resembles real human skin, allowing the artificial facial muscles to move with great precision. Saudi Arabia's first humanoid male robot named Mohammed, developed by the robotics company QSS. The robot style has been significantly modified as it was previously dressed in traditional Saudi attire. Thanks to artificial intelligence, Mohammed can speak both Arabic and English. The robot gained widespread recognition during the Deep Fest festival held in Riyadh earlier this spring. During the presentation, Al Arabiya reporter Rawia Qasim stood next to Mohammed recording her segment on the event. In the video, the robot can be seen extending its arm to touch her lower back. Kasem reacted by looking sharply at him, raising her hand towards the robot and then resuming the conversation. QSS reviewed the video and incident details, confirming that no deviations from Mohammed's expected behavior occurred during the interaction. Thus, Saudi Arabia's first humanoid robot has turned out to be a rather mischievous character. For the first time at an international exhibition, one of the most unique Russian robots with incredibly realistic facial expressions made its debut. The company W Expo showcased its newest anthropomorphic robot named Artie, which was created this year. According to the creators, the robot features anatomically accurate mechanics, a wide range of micro-expressions and elastic silicone skin. The Artie was first introduced by its developers at the International Exhibition Forum Russia. The robot can express emotions, play, sing, and interact with people. The project's aim, according to the developers, is to showcase advanced robotics and AIK, abilities to inspire and entertain audiences, demonstrating the potential of robots in various areas of life and business. At the exhibition, the robot recited poetry and performed songs for stand visitors. Additionally, this robot became the world's first mass-produced solution with such capabilities. The creators announced that Artie is available for custom manufacturing in any quantity. One of the most interesting events of the show was the duet between the famous Russian singer Nadezhda Babkin-A and the humanoid robot Artie, where they performed a song together on stage for the joint performance. They chose the song My Homeland. After the incredible performance, Babkina told journalists that she has always supported experiments in creativity and innovation. The creative collaboration with the advanced humanoid robot equipped with artificial intelligence was a real challenge for her, which she gladly accepted. The vibrant performance showcased a fusion of traditional art and modern technology. Nadezhda Babkina rated the vocal abilities of the humanoid robot from Perm quite highly, but also cautioned against relying too heavily on neural networks. There should always be a sense of balance. The artist believes, as for the robot, Artie, it can express emotions, play, sing, and interact with a conversational partner. The development is based on software with motion capture technology which reproduces human emotions, facial expressions, and gestures. According to the developers, the goal of the project is to present advanced robotics and artificial intelligence capabilities, inspire and entertain audiences, and demonstrate the potential of robots in various areas of life and business. And then there's Clone Robotics, a company that shocked the world with their eerily human-like robotic arms and hands. By 2025, Clone has unveiled a full humanoid upper body, complete with skin-like coverings and expressive gestures. Their focus is on making the body language so fluid that it communicates as much as words. What's striking is that Clone's robots sweat. They use artificial liquid systems that mimic perspiration to cool their joints, which also makes their skin look moist and alive under lighting. That small detail completely transforms the perception of realism. No other company has gone that far into simulating the human body at this level. Here is one of the most realistic female robots with the slightly unusual name, Geminoid F. This gynoid robot is a simplified and lighter version of an earlier model, the Geminoid HI. Geminoid F was designed with the appearance of a young Japanese woman to elicit greater empathy from people. The android has remote autonomous control, allowing it to act as a telepresence device or interact with people independently under AI program control. The robot features a metal skeleton with a plastic skull covered with polyurethane foam and realistic silicone skin to replicate facial movements. Geminoid F is equipped with 12 facial pneumatic actuators, and it is also capable of certain arm and body movements. Primarily a research project, Geminoid F is intended to study psychological aspects of human-machine interactions. However, this did not stop it from becoming the first robot to perform in theater and even in film, namely in the post-apocalyptic play Sayonara and its film adaptation, where the android was operated remotely by an operator. The Turks have introduced the country's first humanoid robot actor named Apera. Apera is unique in that she was specifically created for interaction in the world of arts and entertainment. She has already appeared in the 2022 film Digital Human, as well as in TV series, commercials, and even at concerts. According to producer and screenwriter Biro Gouvin, they aim to make Ipera a renowned actress on the international stage. Ipera is positioned as a digital human and is capable of rapid learning. She has graduated from all conservatories, read all the plays, and easily acquires new knowledge using the internet as the main source. Professor Hiroshi Ishiguro has created one of the most realistic humanoid robots in the world, named Humanoid. This robot was developed to work at the National Museum of Emerging Science and Innovation in Tokyo, where its primary task is to announce news and weather forecasts in various languages. The robot's design resembles that of a young girl. Humanoid is intended to explore interactions between robots and humans. Its face and body were modeled after real people, and a special silicone that mimics human skin was used for its covering. This robot can move synchronized lip movements with speech, blink, and express emotions through facial movements. Like other robots created by Professor Ishiguro, Humanoid was developed not only to impress with its realism, but also to study issues related to human emotions, consciousness, and thoughts. This is Nadine, an incredibly realistic social humanoid robot, which is a robotic clone of Professor Nadia Magnana-Thalmann, who founded the Mirror Lab at the University of Geneva. This humanoid twin was built back in 2015 with the hardware created by the Japanese company Kokoro. Nadine's role is to be a secretary and companion for people with special needs. The robot can read books to people, send emails, make video calls, and communicate with their families. Thanks to artificial intelligence, Nadine can converse in 6 languages, remember people's faces and previous interactions, and respond to conversations. It makes eye contact during conversations, understands some gestures, and reacts to what it sees and hears with facial expressions and upper body movements. It can even change its mood depending on how it's treated. So where does that leave us? In 2025, humanoid robots aren't just machines that look like people. They're machines that act, react, and connect like people. From Ameka's facial mastery to Sophia's evolving conversations, to X-Robot's emotional expressiveness, to Geminoids replicating specific individuals, each step is taking us closer to robots that are, in every practical sense, too real to be robots. And here's the wild part. We've only scratched the surface. The technology is accelerating so fast that by the end of this decade, it may be impossible to tell at a glance whether the person across from you is flesh and blood or carbon fiber and silicon. Out of everything we've covered, I walked you through 10 of the most human-like humanoids of 2025. Each one shows us a piece of the future. Whether it's facial realism, natural motion, emotional connection, or identity replication,